Yo, in this video, I'm gonna show you guys the best competitive Fortnite settings in Chapter 4. I will be going over the best in-game settings to use to get the best overall performance and settings outside of Fortnite as well, so you can gain more FPS and reduce your delay. This competitive guide will also include the best stretched reses to use and color settings in the Nvidia control panel and in Fortnite for the best visibility. So now without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video. Starting off with this video, we are going to be changing a few settings outside of Fortnite to get a better performance. We will be going into our Fortnite settings later on in this video, but we are going to be working our way up. So the first step is to go into your search bar and type graphic settings. So just like in my previous FPS video, we are going to be putting Fortnite on high performance in our graphic settings. So what you want to do is make sure choosing app to set preference is set to desktop app and not Microsoft Store app. Then you want to click browse. So you want to go to the drive that Fortnite is on, which is most likely your C drive. Then you want to click on program files. Then you want to go to Epic Games. Then you want to go to Fortnite. Then go to Fortnite game, binaries, Win64. Then you want to make sure you click on the Fortnite that says Fortnite client Win64 shipping exe. If you don't see the exe part, then you can just click on the Fortnite game that is taking up the most memory. Then once you do that, it will appear under your graphic settings. What you want to do is make sure you click on it and then go to options. Then once you go to options, you want to make sure it is under high performance. Then you can save it. Make sure it is not on power saving, make sure it is on high performance. Really quick guys, you guys have been going crazy joining my Discord server. Shout out to everyone who has joined recently and everyone who is already in my server. If you guys are looking to chat with me and the rest of the community, or if you just want to meet new people or make new friends, make sure to join my server. Make sure to join my server and say hi so we can talk in there instead of through a comment section. The link to my server is in the description. So now let's get back into the video. But we're not done yet. Now we are going to be going into our power and sleep settings. Under related settings, you want to click on additional power settings. And as you guys can see, you want to make sure your preferred plans is set to high performance. If you don't see it under preferred plans, it can be under your hide additional plans. And make sure it is not set to power saver and make sure it is not set to balance. Then once you do that, you want to click on change plan settings under high performance, then go to change advanced power settings. Now under power options, you want to scroll down and go to your wireless adapter settings. You want to click on it and then go to power saving mode, then make sure your setting is set to maximum performance. Now for this next step, you want to go into your GeForce experience if you have an Nvidia driver, or if you're an AMD, you want to go into your AMD drive. As you guys can see, I am checking for updates to make sure my drives are up to date as they are. Just make sure your drivers are up to date because that can be causing stuttering or just in-game issues as well. Now for this next step, we are in our Nvidia control panel and you guys can see that we are under adjust image settings with preview. So you want to go to the third setting that says use my preference emphasizing and make sure it is set all the way to performance. Then once you do that, you can apply. Then once you apply your settings, make sure you go back to use the advanced 3D image settings. Then once you do that, we're going to be going into our manage 3D settings. So I'm not going to explain every single setting on here, so you guys can just keep pausing the video because all of these settings are optimized. But the important settings that you want to make sure you have on is low latency mode. You want to have low latency mode set to either on or ultra. If you are on a newer graphics card such as a 30 series or a 40 series, then you can try setting this to ultra. But if you are on a lower graphics card, then I would just recommend you having it set to on. Also, as I am scrolling down, you also want to make sure your power management mode is set to prefer maximum performance. And all of these other settings you guys can just copy. Also, you want to keep in mind that we're not going to have the exact same settings, and you might have some settings that I might not have because we're on different graphics cards. So I'm just going to scroll up and down for you guys one more time so you can just pause the video. So just make sure you have all of these settings copied so you can get more FPS. So now for the final step of settings outside of Fortnite, you want to go into your Epic Games launcher and go to your library. And on the right side of Fortnite, you can see that there are 3 dots on the side. You want to click on the 3 dots and then click on options. You guys can see Fortnite Save the World and high resolution textures. You want to make sure you have both these settings turned off, especially high resolution textures. Having your high resolution textures turned off is obviously going to take your high resolution textures away. So once you turn these 2 settings off and click on apply, your game should start updating or verifying, and then once it is done, we can go into Fortnite. So now we are going to be looking at the best competitive settings in Fortnite. So going into our settings may look a little bit different with the new update in Chapter 4. So in our display settings, in windowed mode, you want to make sure you are using full screen. Having this set to full screen is going to give you the least amount of input delay compared to windowed full screen and windowed. You guys may have noticed that performance mode is a little bit different now. So performance mode is now out of the beta and is now called performance lower graphical fidelity. I can say that playing on performance mode in chapter 4 looks and still feels amazing, excluding some of the current bugs in the game. So for the best FPS, you want to make sure you're on performance mode. So now before I go into the graphic settings, I want to talk about using stretched res. The res I am using currently in the game that you're seeing right now is 1750 by 1080, and using it in chapter 4 still gives me great FPS. I have used a bunch of other reses in previous videos. If you guys want to check them out, they're all in a playlist, so you can just see which one you like the best. But personally, I do love using 1750 by 1080 the most. The best colorblind mode going into chapter 4 as of right now is try to nope. Having your colorblind mode set to try to nope 5 is going to make sure your game does not look washed out compared to using the other two colorblind modes. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to use all of the different colorblind modes. You guys can see that using try to nope makes your colors pop out a lot more. And speaking of color settings, inside of your Nvidia control panel, you want to make sure you set your digital vibrance somewhere in between 75% to 90%. This is the setting that is going to make your game more colorful. This is preference to how colorful you want your game to look, but I do have this setting set to 80%, so I'd recommend you using this setting from 75 to 90%. So now scrolling down to our 3D resolution, I am keeping my 3D resolution on 100%, but if you do need a little FPS boost, if you are on a low-end PC, then you can set this to no lower than 85%. And for the rest of these settings, you want to make sure all of these settings are on the lowest they can be on. You want to make sure you have the high resolution texture settings set to off. You want to make sure you have toggle sprint on and auto open doors on as well. So some of you guys may already know, when it comes to using edit on release or not using edit on release, I always show you guys the clip of Noah Riley explaining it, why he does not use edit on release. I always show that clip in these competitive settings guides, so I figured why not show it once again in our chapter 4 competitive Fortnite guide.
Is there a secret why every pro doesn't use edit on release? Okay, I'm gonna show this once forever. Wait, where is it? Confirm edit on release. On. Okay, let's see the right hand peak. I'm here. Want to strafe for right hand peak? Oh, fuck. Where did I stand while holding it? Here. Would I die? Yes. Let's see it without the edit on release on. Off. Let's see it. Nice. That's the reason.
So to get a better understanding of what he is saying, if you do not use edit on release, it is easier and safer to create right hand peaks since you are not confirming your edit right away compared to if you are using edit on release. And not using edit on release will also improve your fighting skills, with the cons being that your mechanics will become much slower since you need to confirm edits instead of just releasing your edit bind. So now going into our keyboard and mouse settings, under keyboard movement, you want to make sure use custom diagonals are on so you can use the in-game double movement. So these are the best settings to have on double movement in-game. I have been using it since they have released this update. And for your sound quality, you want to have this on low. There is no reason why you should be having this on high. And for visual sound effects, you also want to have this set to on. And that is all of the settings that I'm going to show you guys in this video. So that is the end of the video. Hopefully this competitive guide did help you. So if this video did help you, and if you are enjoying chapter 4, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. The best ways to support me is to become a channel member or to use my code Witeout in the item shop. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Run away from the past and the nonsense. Tired of toxic games, not an option. Made it up from the mud, I'ma find this. Taking off hella fast, I'm